Hello again. I thought we'd quickly try to squeeze in some Hebrew. So let's run through the letters we know real quick. We're going to add some more because as of right now, we have covered all but 8. So if we can add 3 to 4 today, we won't have much left to do. So quickly running through, we got Aleph, which is a silent letter. Beit, without the dogish, is a V. With the dogish, is a B. Gimel, and that's a G with or without the dogish. It's just how hard the G is. All right, we've got Dalet, and the sound does not change with or without the dogish. It is a D. Hey, that's just an H. Vav, that is a V. Here we have Zion, which is a Z. This is Chet, which is that ch sound. Tet, which is a very clean T. My page isn't wanting to turn. Here we go. All right, we have Yod, which if you recall, I said I should have made that bigger. That's like the top half of a letter. Kaf, and Kaf has a final form. You remember if it's the last letter of a word, it takes its final form. So with the dogish, it's a K, like king. And if you take the dogish away, it's that ch sounds like bach. Here we have lamed, which is a nice simple L. This is a mem, which is an M, and that's a final form mem. And here's the last of the ones we've covered. So there's a noon, N, final form noon, and then a samech, which is an S. So these you're probably less familiar with. We only covered these once, samech. Okay. Let's cover a couple more. And get my marker open. Here we go. If you can't tell, I'm excited to finish up the alphabet because we can start looking at words. Once we get some words down, we're going to look at verses. Okay. So next up, after samech, we've got ayin, which for the most part kind of looks like a weird Y. That is the second. I told you, if you remember, there are two. Gotta be careful what I'm doing. There are 2 letters in the Hebrew alphabet that have lost their guttural sound, and so now they're silent letters. The first is Aleph, the first letter of the alphabet, and this is the other one, ayin. So when you see that, there's no sound. You just move on to whatever vowel is under it. All right, now pay. Let's see. I don't remember if I did the little... I don't remember if it, you know, sometimes when you look at font where something's typed, it looks slightly different. There's a little, I don't remember how much that's written in handwriting or not. Anyway, this also takes a dogish right in the middle of it. So with the dogish, this is a P, pay. Without the dogish, it's an F sound. So pa or fa. This also has a final form. So it starts the same and then just kind of comes down. So there's the final form pay. Pay. It sounds like you're paying someone money. So that gives us 2 letters. I should have spaced a little more between those. I'm sorry. Let's do at least one more. this is a sound that I've seen in some other languages. Russian has a letter like this. You don't see this in English or Spanish or French, but this letter is sade. Let me make sure I remember how to write this. Yeah, so that probably should have been a little taller. You can tell I don't write these much. I'm used to just looking at them. Sade. It's a TS sound. Tss. So you might see that in you do see it in the beginning of some words. In English, you don't really get that. It'd be like at the end of a word, like a bets. You're betting on something. Bets. That TS sound. This also has a final form, unfortunately, which instead of having this angle like it did, it goes straight down, and then you still have this weird little, that thing. I believe, yeah, MAME, the M, that's the only final form that doesn't come down below, because remember, the final form MAME is just a box, basically. All the rest of them, when you see it goes down below the dotted line, those are the final forms. Okay, so yeah, that's the TS, the tss. We will do, how many does that leave us with? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Heck, let's do one more. We will do Kof. Which kind of looks like a P. But that's more of a Q sound. What would you put that in? I can't think of one off the top of my head, but it's more like a Q sound. Well, no, it's turned into a K, I think. See, that's where I've mentioned a few times about the vocal laziness. I've got some brain laziness right now. Vocal laziness sounds change over time. This used to be more of a Q and it's turned into more of a K. And so cough and kof sound very similar, which is convenient because their names sound very similar. So the difference being cough has the doggish. And so with the doggish is a K. Without it's the that Bach letter. Kof does not take a doggish. It's that K sound every time. Okay, so we'll end our alphabet there. Let's review a couple of our vocab words super quick. All right, here we've got Melech. That is king. And then Navi, which is prophet. Let's see if we can look at one last one. Is this a good one? Yeah, you know all these letters. Kohen. Something like that. Sometimes we're going to be guessing a little bit at the pronunciation, because even though when you have all the letters and vowels and stuff, you know, I'm not the best at pronouncing things, and I'm sure you've learned that by now. Priest. And so I have met people with the last name, and of course it's spelled out in with English letters, and they'll usually pronounce it Cohen, but it'd be a Cohen, Cohen. And I remember working at the Sanford Library, there was a lady that worked down on the lower level, and one day she was checking something in or out, but her name popped up, and that was when I learned her name. And I said, "Do you know that in Hebrew your name means priest?" And she said, "Yes." "Do you know I'm Jewish?" I said, "No, I didn't, but now I do." So anyway, Kohen, something like that. Priest. I've always said Kohen, And even if that's not right, that is how that is stuck in my mind now. So you're going to hear me say it that way. I'm turning that the wrong way. So we'll end it there. We've got three words now that we've looked at. Melech, king. Navi, prophet. And now Kohen, priest. So I think that's a good place for us to stop. And if I'm not wearing you out today, kind of got the itchies to do a fairy tale later. So we'll see. If you're not in the mood, I may read one of my other books. But I will talk to you later.